Cold morning mist clings to timber roofs as market bells begin. Faint church bells echo across damp fields surrounding the village. Smoke rises slowly from cottage chimneys, warming the early air. Narrow dirt paths fill gradually with villagers carrying woven baskets. Wool cloaks brush together as neighbours greet each other quietly. The scent of damp earth mixes with wood smoke and livestock. Merchants arrive from distant hamlets, guiding tired horses through mud. Wooden carts creak loudly beneath sacks of barley and onions. A baker arranges dark loaves carefully upon a rough table. Nearby, a butcher sharpens his blade against a worn whetstone. Geese wander freely between stalls, hissing at passing strangers. The marketplace slowly awakens beneath the grey autumn sky. Farmers spread rough cloths upon tables, displaying turnips and cabbages. A potter unloads clay bowls, wrapped carefully in straw. Cold wind stirs the edges of linen hoods and cloaks. Women examine bundles of wool with cautious, practiced hands. Coins clink softly as early bargains begin between familiar faces. A shepherd counts lambskins laid across a wooden trestle table. Nearby, children watch quietly, clutching crusts of morning bread. The smell of salted fish drifts from a coastal trader's stall. Crows circle slowly above the roofs, observing the gathering crowd. A travelling merchant unfolds dyed cloth, shimmering faintly in dim light. Villagers whisper about distant towns and rumours carried along roads. Heavy boots press deep tracks into the wet village square. The reeve watches closely, ensuring fair weights and honest measures. A priest passes quietly, robes brushing against rough market tables. Bundles of firewood stack high beside a carpenter's display. A cooper shows sturdy barrels bound tightly with iron hoops. Nearby, a tanner's leather goods release a sharp, bitter smell. Wind rattles loose boards along the edges of nearby cottages. A peddler rings a small bell to gather curious buyers. Bundles of herbs hang drying above a healer's small stall. Their scent of thyme and sage drifts through the crowd. Farm wives compare eggs carefully beneath watchful morning light. Barter replaces coin when purses prove too thin for purchases. A brewer pours cloudy ale into worn wooden cups. Men pause briefly. Warming hands around the rough vessels, strangers exchange guarded glances before speaking in cautious tones. Travellers bring news of distant harvests and troubled roads. A blacksmith displays horseshoes blackened from the forge fire. Sparks still cling faintly to his heavy leather apron. A cloth merchant weighs linen carefully against small iron weights. Nearby, a farmer trades butter, wrapped neatly in linen cloth. The steady murmur of voices grows louder with rising sun. Clouds drift slowly above timber houses leaning along the square. A fiddler arrives quietly, tuning strings beside stacked grain sacks. Soft music briefly lifts the weary rhythm of trade. Dogs wander patiently beneath tables, hoping for fallen scraps. Merchants guard their goods carefully from wandering hands. Children chase each other around carts loaded with winter supplies. A widow sells candles shaped from precious beeswax. Their faint honey scent softens the harsher smells nearby. Farmers study iron tools, promising stronger harvests next season. A traveller warms himself beside a brazier glowing quietly. Ash drifts upward as wind pushes smoke across the square. The village well draws a slow line of waiting women. Water sloshes gently within wooden buckets carried carefully home. By midday, the square pulses with voices and steady trade. Coins change hands beneath watchful eyes and practiced judgment. Yet hunger and winter remain, silent concerns behind every bargain. Survival depends on careful spending and honest harvests. Gradually, the sun lowers behind distant hedgerows and fields. Long shadows stretch across the trampled earth of the square. Merchants tie bundles tightly before beginning the slow journey home. Unsold goods return to carts beside tired horses. Villagers gather their purchases, wrapped within coarse cloth. Evening wind carries the final murmurs of fading trade. Crows return to rooftops as quiet settles once more. The marketplace empties, leaving scattered straw and muddy footprints. Smoke rises again as families prepare simple suppers indoors. Another market day fades quietly into the long medieval night.